The grey man does whatever a grey man can. Can he make a comic feed? Yes, he can. He just did. Watch now, a video from Grey Man. A video from Grey Man.
Greetings, Grey Maniacs. Grey Maniacs, gather! Gather around, Grey Maniacs. Come closer, come closer. Ah, yeah, this is nice and up close and personal, isn't it? It's time for another blog. Woo! Still going through box number 24. I've got a little pile of comics to show you. Not particularly well bagged and boarded. In fact, not boarded at all, just bagged. Not even in individual bags. Because it's the kind of lackadaisical collector I am. Bit of a sore throat this morning. I had an early night last night. Didn't even watch my own blog. I woke up at 2:30. I went to bed about 11 and woke up at 2:30. And I forced myself to carry on sleeping. And I ended up getting up at a reasonably hour, I don't know, at 5 or something like that. So, anyway, I've had a chat already today with Whack Comics about some of his comic book memories. I've arranged a few more. Got a date now with Biggie Shack. Going to be talking to Biggie Shack. Yeah, the legend. About some of his comic memories. That should be fun. This is Villains United. This is yesterday I showed off the Secret Six. And Villains United is where they first sort of teamed up. Who are the Secret Six? Obviously not the original Secret Six, because there's been, I believe, 2 different Secret Sixes before that Secret Six came along. Parademons, Parademon, Ragdoll, looks like Cheshire, Scandal Savage, Catman, Deadshot. I think Parademon gets killed at the end of this run. I think he sacrifices himself rather than being under dark side's control. It's like a Parademon who wanted his own life. Yeah, Villains United was like all the villains teamed up, because this was at the time when there was loads of sort of crises going on. Was it Infinite Crisis or Final Crisis or one of those crises? The Spectre had gone mad and was trying to destroy magic. There was the Rand Thanagar war that was going on at some point. The villains had all teamed up. I'm sure there was something else that was going on that had its own little series at the time. And for some reason, the Secret Six didn't join up with the rest of the Villains United. Now they were headed up by, some secret guy called Mockingbird, as is the story in the first 2 series of the Secret Six. And it turns out Mockingbird ended up being, spoilers, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor turned out to be Mockingbird. Right, Infinity Inc. Not the same as the original Infinity Inc. I do have that run as well. I think the original Infinity Inc. were the descendants of the Justice Society of America, I believe. So like, was it Silver Scarab? Something Scarab, who was like Hector Hall, the son of Carter Hall, the Hawkman. And it had... what was her name? Fury, who was the daughter of... I don't know, it was Wonder Woman. I think it might have been Hippolyta or something like that. It was some relative to Wonder Woman somehow. Probably completely retconned out of existence now, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, this is another team headed up by Steel. I think Steel got it together, and they had his niece was in it. This might be something to do with some people who got powers due to some dodgy thing that Lex Luthor did. He created so people could buy superpowers, something like that. And I think that might have been how the Infinity Inc. got together. Obviously not super memorable, but mind you, it's been a while since I read it. It was 2008. Wow, 12 years ago now. Blimey. There's Luther again. Definitely got some dodgy dealings in mind, as he always does. I don't remember any of the characters from this team. I know the girl at the front is John Henry Irons' niece. Steele's niece, but I can't remember what her power was or her code name. There you go. I think it's only run for like 12 months. Yeah, I remember Luther giving people, like ordinary people, superpowers, and I think he was able to switch them off just like that. And I think he ended up doing that in a story, possibly a Superman story. You see all these people falling from the sky because he switched off everyone's powers. And all these people who could fly couldn't any longer. And they landed with a kasplat. Right, so this is the last one, the shocking conclusion. I don't know if these characters ever got in anywhere else. So you're probably not going to tell me their names now. I really missed this time when they used to have a box at the front of the top of the first page of every comic book, giving you the rundown of the characters, their alter egos and their name. That was so much simpler, surely, for new people getting into a comic book. So if you was buying a comic for the first time, you'd open up the front page, and up on the top it told you about the characters. But no, they don't do that anymore. That was probably because it was too sensible an idea. Yeah. But you think that'd be a good way to a tool for engaging new people in the comic book. If someone picked up the comic book and they can see on the front cover already who everybody is and like an idea of what their powers are, at least what their code names are, then that's got to be a positive for them to buy it, I would have thought. But yeah, they don't do that now. Anyway, the other, I was talking about the Ran Thanagar War and the Spirit Spectre going crazy. The other event that was happening at the same time was the OMAC. I forgot about that. OMAC went crazy, wasn't it? Yeah. And people started turning into OMACs, One Man Army Corps. Something that Batman and originally sort of built and financed was overtaken by Max Lord for his nefarious ends. I'm not sure if his ends were nefarious or they just overly authoritarian. They were definitely nefarious, but they weren't like for crime. I think he just wanted to control people and, you know, create order. But yeah, create order by getting rid of people's freedoms, that kind of thing. So definitely not good. So the OMAC project was a 6-parter. One of those stories I recall where it starts off the OMACs, each one of them is a one-man army, and like they're really hard to defeat. And then by the end of the story, suddenly they're knocking them off like, you know, with a pointy stick. They start off by like really building up the power levels of these things, and by the end of the story, when they want to, knock the story off, finish the story off, they want to make it so there's loads of enemies. But then people are suddenly able to defeat them much quicker than they had been at the beginning, kind of thing. Yeah, these stories are. They start characters off as being really tough, and then once they've shown them a few times, they just become cannon fodder just to move a story along. Anyway, there's another OMAC. Who is the last OMAC? An 8-parter. I've got all that as well. Got all the OMAC. Another one, it was I think it was a okay enough read, not memorable for me. I was collecting like quite a lot of comics at that time. I don't remember it as being like a super read, but it was alright. One day, if I live long enough, hopefully I'll get to read all these again. Maybe I should stop buying new comics and just concentrate on reading. Maybe what I should try and do is read and then sell. Because, yeah, maybe that would be an idea at some point. Read them, sell them. Concentrate my collection. So if I sold these 8 comics for, I don't know, £5, I don't know how much you'd get for them. That's the trouble. They're not really memorable storylines that are probably aren't going to be collectible at any point. But then I could buy like maybe one low grade Silver Age comic for what I sell these for. Who knows? And maybe concentrate on, you know, some of the older comic books. Maybe sell off some of the. But we'll see what happens down the line. I'm quite reticent of getting rid of stuff. I'm terrible at trying to get rid of stuff. Even stuff I've got doubles off. I'm lazy getting rid of those. The stuff that aren't doubles, I'm just very reticent about getting rid of because, you know, who knows, I might want to read them again in the future. There you go, here's the Rann-Thanagar War I was talking about. There was a Rann-Thanagar War, and then that was followed by Rann-Thanagar Holy War. This is good because it's got Adam Strange, Hawkman, Kyle Rayner, and also Captain Comet was involved, I think. And also the Weird popped up. Whether it was on this one or on the Holy War one. And I think Starfire appears as well. And Animal Man, strangely. I'm not quite sure what Animal Man was doing out in space for this. I just think it was like, well, we haven't used him for a while. Let's bung him in the Rann-Thanagar War. Somehow he got lost in space, I seem to recall. Yeah, Hawkman and Hawkwoman. Original Sin. Yeah, this was the sort of like proclaiming himself a god and having all these cult followers kind of thing. I think that was this guy, Sin. And there was another woman who had her own cult. She was like, I can't remember what her name was now. Yeah, and that was the Holy War that came later. Yeah, I mean, I like Hawkman and Hawkwoman as the next person, but I no more understand their origins than anybody. In the Silver Age, they were just from Thanagar, weren't they? I'm wondering if it was the Golden Age one that originally had the Egyptology connection. Because I don't remember reading any that actually were... Though later on they started talking about that, on a later run of Hawkman. Yeah, how can they be unless they were at one point reincarnated on Thanagar? I don't know. Casualties of war. Yeah, because I know what happened. I have no idea what happened to Shiera, who was Hawkman's wife in the Silver Age and Bronze, Copper possibly. And then all of a sudden they come out again, and he was on his own. She wasn't there, and there was this other woman who was supposed to have been a reincarnation. Though how she could be a reincarnation when she'd not long been dead, to be honest, and this was a full-grown woman. Kendra Saunders, I think her name is, and like Hawkman was saying, "Oh yeah, you're the spirit of my Shiera," and she didn't recognise him or feel any love for him, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe that was after Infinite Crisis. Maybe after Infinite Crisis, she no longer was around. I'm not too sure. But then when you go to Thanagar, she's there. A version very much like her with the same name is there. And it's just like, yeah, all right. Comics are too confusing. Comics are too confusing for their own good sometimes. There needs to be a playbook. There should be a website, official website run by the comic book people, saying if they're alive or dead, what's happened to them, all that kind of thing. Right, Arkham Asylum is the next one. No, sorry, Arkham Reborn is the next one. A 3-issue miniseries. There we go. It's an interesting cover. I think that's a mixture of Dr. Arkham and a bit of Joker in there. Maybe a bit of Two-Face around the eye. Yeah. Pretty cool cover. I'm assuming the jigsaw is to represent the fragmented minds of the people stuck in Arkham. Pretty cool cover. It's like different faces, kind of like jigsaw pieces have been mashed together, kind of thing. So there's not necessarily the right faces in there. There's a bit of a woman mixed in with Cold Bloke. Oh, Dr. Freeze? Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze, that's right. Victor Freeze. Yeah. I imagine that maybe that's his wife. Maybe that's his wife, because she's always on his mind and she's like his driving force. Maybe that's who that's meant to be. I'm not too sure of that. Is that a scarecrow? That's Dr. Arkham, I'm assuming. But is that Clayface there? Anyway, I looked at that one for far too long. And finally then, this is it. Looks like Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze and Clayface and Batman's come in. They've got rid of the jigsaw-y looking covers on for this one. He's just bursting onto the scene, kicking ass. That's it. That's my Arkham Reborn. That's that for now. I'm gonna shout out Whack Comics, I think, because I had a chat with him a little while ago, and I'm sure you all sub to him anyway. But let's just give him a jingle tingle anyway. So yeah, if you're not sub to Whack Comics, the link will be at the end in the corner and down below. Go sub up Whack. He's a cool dude. My throat is annoying me. Sore. Please don't let me be dying. I don't want to be dying. It's a massive inconvenience in my collecting. How will I be able to finish off my flash run if I suddenly die? That wouldn't help. Wouldn't be helpful at all. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, that was randomly stupid. Well, I'm out of here. Cheers for tuning in. I appreciate you all. If you appreciate me, please leave a comment down below to help out my anal lick tits. Leave a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here and you don't find me morally abhorrent, then please hit subscribe. If you do find me morally abhorrent, please hit subscribe as well. Because both options are amazing. They're not just amazing, they're grey-mazing. And until I return tomorrow, I wish you all a grey-mazing day, and I hope that all of your news will be good news.
Whack 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 comics. Whack 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 comics. Sub him up, whack comics. Sub him up, whack comics. If you don't sub him up, whack comics. I'll smack you in the face with a spade, whack comics.